Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and being a producer of Wrestle Massacre as well as Inside Movies Galore, I am David Streggy, and welcome to Delusions of Grandeur. Enjoy the reviews. I certainly did.
Okay, Dave, that's it. Screw you and your college flunkies. I've had enough of this from you and from everyone else. I know what you guys are trying to do. Break me down, drive me out of the force. Well, it's going to take a hell of a lot more than a lame prank like this to get Curtis Mooney to throw in his badge, so fuck you! Over.
Did you miss me? I guess not.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Delusions of Grandeur. I am your host, David Streggy, and here I have a brand new review of a zombie film that is directed by a Belgian filmmaker that I know by the name of Rob Ceus, who has directed several short films in preparation for his very well anticipated anthology. But he brings to me a screener of his film Zombies from Sector 9. The story is about Bookwalker, and apparently he is slightly a bum at first when we first are introduced to him. But the film itself, first of all, I have to say that we have Alex Wesley, who has brought to us the gore film trilogy, Tumors, as well as Zombie Infection from Russia, if I remember correctly. Alex Wesley plays a zombie in this film. We have Sebastian Godin, who plays the zombie scientist in here. We have Manouche, who plays Valerie. Now Manouche is an actress who has been in many different German films. She played in Cannibal, Barricade, Angel of Death 2, Fear Makers, The Time Traveler, The Shrieking, only in voice, Tima Rose's The Beast as Lucy Lenfer, Unrated the Movie as a bookkeeper, Le Pete Mort, Game Over, Zombie Reanimation, Underworld Cats, The Super, Necronos, which is a film that was picked up by Troma. The Curse of Dr. Wolfenstein as Miss Royce Reed. Bittersweet Revenge, Vengeance de la Ruse, Sex, Blood, and Fairy Tales, Amour Kilt, Mammoth, the movie, the Stories of the Dead Die Farm, and so on and so forth. She's definitely a very busy actress, so it was entertaining to see her in this film. But in the very beginning, I love how this film is definitely got some grindhouse aspect to it. It's set in 1979, I believe, at least at first, and it's set in a universe of what is considered Creepville. And there was a nuclear explosion at a power plant that was caused by a slight alien invasion of Lovecraftian nature. And once again, just like Slime, we get a meltdown of gore effects that happen to one of the workers. And then eventually the infection or the pandemic spreads to the rest of Creepville. And in Creepville, there is a man that seems to just sit on his couch by the name of Bookwalker. And him and his friend Vince are just ended up watching TV, and apparently the aliens just kind of show up, shoot his friend to pieces, and that's kind of how it starts. And goes off in search of his wife and child, and he ends up running into Valerie, and she goes off on her own. We don't really see her for the rest of the movie, but we just get her appearance. But we also get various sections of raiders. Apparently, there are apparently 3 years after the meltdown at the nuclear factory, the world in which Rob Ceus has created in this 2020 film, or it could be 21. I don't know quite yet. It has yet to be released on DVD or Blu-ray of any kind. That being said, there are some comic relief characters, as we see that there are some raiders that are protecting or protecting the world and trying to track down the daughter of a certain scientist, I think, or the daughter of a certain general. And they come across a zombie that ends up escaping and turning or biting into them. But we also get a young girl who is being chased down by this band of raiders. There's this one cute raider who has a mohawk who ends up getting attacked eventually. And somehow in the mix, also going on, is Bookwalker. He goes and grabs his wife and child, and they try to make an escape to find a safer place to hide or live. But they get attacked in this farm-looking like structure. And it just so happens that there's a band of misfit raiders nearby that just don't stop and help or anything. So eventually he has kind of a showdown with them. And in the mix, we have a blood splatter massacre. And there are certain scenes that kind of remind me of Monty Python and the Holy Grail and the Knights of Ni, where he just ends up taking a chainsaw and dismembering several, one or two zombies. One in particular. I mean, the only thing that he doesn't do is cut off the head of the uh, zombie. But to me, that's kind of like a send off to that particular scene in Monty Python and the Holy Grail. So you can definitely see some definite, obvious send offs to certain films. Like there's a moment where there's a blonde young woman who's trying to protect this little girl who apparently seems to be unaffected, even though she was bitten by a zombie. She has not turned as of yet. So her blood may tie into being a possible cure for this whole pandemic or whatnot. So, but in any case, she says this line: "Get your hands off me, you damn stinking apes," or whatnot. And that's obviously a send off to like Planet of the Apes or something like that. But I absolutely love the gore in this film. I mean, yeah, some of the zombies, you can tell some of their heads are paper mache. And when they get lopped off, and there are obviously some limbs that definitely don't look real, but you got to have an imagination for this kind of thing. It's definitely a different animal. I mean, in some spots it's grindhouse, some spots it's a different camera, and I like the different angles and the definite you know play on just killing. And I love the fact that the main character Bookwalker is in fact wearing a a T-shirt of Bad Taste, which is a phenomenally bad movie, but it's so good. And that would be Stephen Demers. Demers really gets into his role. I mean, he is an actor from Rob Ceus's previous short film, where he just played a small, minimum part as a garage sales vendor that you see when the in that particular segment and segue of the film. So the hardest thing about this film, and the most negative thing that I can say, is that it goes to a lot of different other, it kind of goes somewhat all over the place with different scenes of different raiders and where their deaths lead to. And be that as it may, we do realize that the main character does seem to be a bookwalker, but ultimately he kills. Somebody gets killed off that you don't fully expect, and it comes back later on, I guess. You could say he does, or does he? um, no matter what, I enjoyed this Bloodfest. I mean, this they had a lot of fun with it, and to be able to do this with all manner of seriousness. I mean, you can tell that there was a progression of this film. You can tell that it was worked on, and you can tell that there was effort put into um, making the Raiders seem either slightly uh, motley or slightly good, and you didn't know exactly who was evil and who wasn't, because everybody was killing. And so, who do you choose to be the savior? I mean, do you look to the man wielding the chainsaw, or do you look to the military that seemed to be, waving the gun around, but I guess most my two favorite costumes from this film is Bookwalker's got this bad taste shirt on, but he's got this long black coat that looks like it came from the Wild West, and he's got this long hair and the beard and all that jazz, and he looks like tough, you know. So he definitely plays that rough and rowdy kind of character. But the other character ends up being someone that we don't even really see much screen time with, and he's wearing this like what looks like football like um, protector pads, but they're made out of like tires and what looks like what are those squirty things? Oh, syringes, like syringe like spiky looking like substance, and just for some reason he looks like a smaller version of Mr. T in this sense. Not totally, but he's got that small little Michael Jordan like mohawk. Because I don't know, it's like Baby Fuzz to me, but it's like he's trying to be tough. But in any case, I enjoyed watching the film. I think this is actually so far his best work. His somewhat of a his. I think that this will be well loved by the gore enthusiast. There is definitely no end to the gore in here, and there is definitely an interesting infrastructure to where he filmed this film. I assume that he filmed this locally. But in any case, hopefully you enjoyed my description of this film. Like and subscribe to my page if you have not. Definitely check the film out once it comes out. And look Rob up. I mean, he's very cool to talk to. He definitely was schooled in the old school of special effects. So I think that he is on the rise and in his prime. And I'm looking forward to what he can come up with next. So thank you, Rob, for letting me see this ahead of time. Hopefully I didn't say too much. And definitely let me know down in the comments if you've seen the film and what you think about my thoughts. So thank you so much. And just enjoy. Appreciate it.
You were good, kid, real good. But as long as I'm around, you'll always be second best, see?